Okay, guys, welcome to Unorganized with Seany Shore. I'm here with Gabe Roman of Inaka Supplements. How are you, Gabe?
I'm great. I'm great. Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
No, this is awesome. This is the first time that like one of my podcast guests sent me someone that I don't really know from one of my recent episode, Justin Teague.
Yeah, I've known of Teague for I want to say probably for almost 10 years now,
Oh,
which is
really?
crazy to
Wow.
say, yeah.
How do you get to know Justin?
So I think the story is kind of how he said a little bit. I think we were just following each other on Instagram.
Okay.
And I think one day he just, we were just going back and forth, commenting on each other's pictures and whatnot. And one day he basically said, like, yo, I'm going to be in Texas. Would you want to meet up? I was like, hell yeah. Like, let's meet up and whatnot. And I was the head trainer of a gym, Anytime Fitness. I was like 17 or 18.
Okay.
And I had like 40 something clients. I was also going to college part time.
Wow.
And yeah, we met up and whatnot. And yeah, basically the rest is history. Still to this day, we keep in touch. I think the last time I went to go visit him was probably like in 2020 during COVID. And yeah, I flew out there to go visit him and it was a good time.
That's awesome, man. And you said you were already at 17, you were the head trainer on Anytime Fitness.
Hmm.
Wow. So this like fitness passion probably started very young for you.
Yeah, yeah, big time. I'm 27 now, and I originally started training myself at I want to say it was like 15 or 16.
Okay.
I wasn't too big into like supplements or anything like that. I didn't really know too much about nutrition. I would literally just eat straight like just chicken. I thought carbs were bad when
Hmm.
it's
That's
not the
always the
case.
misconception.
I thought, eating fats was just going to make me fat. But again, I
Hmm.
didn't know that. But now knowing what I know, it's like you got to eat fat to burn fat, you know,
Hmm.
helping with energy levels, hormones, all that type of stuff. But yeah, I was that's basically how I started. Just working out in my garage, just doing like whatever my family had, bench, squats, little handmade dumbbells and stuff.
Oh yeah, the hand. I had those too. The ones where you like had to unscrew them and put
Yep.
the weights
Yeah.
on every time you wanted to go up and weight.
Yeah, they were like stones. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's exactly what I
Yep.
had. But it taught me a lot of discipline. And for cardio, I would just go running around my neighborhood. And eventually, I got into supplements,
That's
and
awesome, man.
it's been something that I've had an extreme passion for, just because I've always felt like you know, I guess like I always tell people, when it comes to my ADHD and ADD, it's like anything you put in front of me, like a book or some sort, I
Hmm.
can't really focus on. I just always like I'll read like a paragraph and then I'm like, trying to move on to the next thing. But
Yeah.
when it comes to anything that has to do with fitness, supplements, pharmacology, um, like exercises to help build whatever, anything about the human body, I've been so drawn to it to just try to learn as much as I can just so I can help myself, but also help whoever else I'm trying to help out.
That's awesome. I can definitely relate to that because like growing up in high school, they would, you're doing the algebra, the chemistry, the biology. I'm like looking at stuff. I'm like, I don't, like, never really cared about it until, luckily when I was probably 18, I started getting more seriously into fitness. And then the learning with like how to train, how to eat, the supplementation and everything, that really like made me feel better about myself. Like, oh, I can actually study and learn something. Like it just has to be something that I'm into. And that's such a huge difference.
Yeah, it kind of just, I don't know if you feel the same way, but it kind of made me feel like, in a sense, like I felt like I belonged to
Oh,
to
for sure.
and I just recently saw that you're going to start coaching people.
Yeah, I am gonna be starting that probably in the next month or so.
Yeah.
I've gotten mentored by one of my first ones. I went to a seminar with Mike Dolce. He
Okay.
um he used to train, I forgot the name of the gym, but he was like the head, like one of the head nutrition coaches for a lot of top UFC fighters.
Oh wow.
Um I know he did like Rampage Jackson, Ronda Rousey when she was in her prime and also and athletes like that. So I learned quite a bit from him, and then I'm right now getting mentored by another guy by the name of Johnny Casalina of Team Pro FX. I don't know if
Oh
you're
yeah, I know. I know of Team Pro FX. That's Kyle Wilkes' team, correct?
yes. Yes.
Okay, so my current coach, Classic Blum,
Oh,
he's been great. He's actually mentored by Phil Viz, which is
so
team basically.
yeah, he was like part of Pro FX with Johnny originally, I think, and then Phil went off and did his own thing. But all like very respectable coaches, and I wanted to get that knowledge because you can look stuff up on the internet and you get a lot of things that are like counteract. They're not saying the same thing, and you're like, what's
Yeah,
actually right and what's wrong? It's
yeah,
tough to
yeah.
balance out and like figure out. So I just wanted to go right to a source and like really get the understanding.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And, I definitely believe in, studying a lot about this before
Oh, for sure.
just saying you're a coach. Cause I know there's a lot of people out there, and I know this is gonna sound really bad. Like I've been recently seeing a lot of people saying like, oh, people do one show and then they say they're an automatic coach. When,
Hmm.
in reality, like that's kind of what I did, but not really, just because I've done only one show. I got
Hmm.
second place, but I've had clients before that. I
Okay.
was a trainer, so technically that's client, but with nutrition, I've been doing that a long time as well. I started out, just coaching my girlfriend's brother, and
Hmm.
I ended up coaching my girlfriend. We we weren't boyfriend girlfriend at the time, but
Yeah.
I started coaching them free of charge. Just because I wanted to see if I can actually do this.
Hmm.
And still to this day, I don't charge them a single dime, of course.
So did you coach people during other people's preps before you actually did a prep yourself?
No, so I actually I don't even consider myself a prep coach. Anybody
Hmm.
that I have prepped in the past, I always make sure to tell them like, hey, I'm letting you know this now. I
God.
consider myself a prep coach, but I'm willing to take you on as a prep client if you're okay with that.
Hmm.
So with the
That
people,
openness is probably key because you being open from the start, like, listen, this isn't my specialty,
Mhm.
but I'm willing to work with you. That's I honestly is the best thing in this industry.
Exactly. So my first prep client, we kind of just made like a little bit of a deal. He was actually just shooting like some content for my girlfriend.
Hmm.
She became a sponsored athlete for Jack Factory,
Okay.
and he did some pictures for her. And then he saw my physique and was like, "Bro, like you look great." And we kind of just worked out a deal. I'd coach him for free if he just shot some content for me, weekly. And he was like, "Yo, like I want to do summer shredding." And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I coached him completely naturally. He
Hmm.
did the transformation division, which I know you and T just had that conversation. And
Hmm.
my client, Orlando, he actually went from, I want to say it was like 270 something pounds down to about like, I want to say it was either low 140s or
Oh wow,
mid 130s. Yeah. And did it completely natural. I have pictures of him on my Instagram.
that's
Uh,
crazy, man.
I took him in, the day before the show just to see like him actually in person. And I was
Hmm.
working out with him just to make sure, I kept a close eye on him just because I know when you're in a prep, mentally you're struggling,
Oh, definitely.
Um, so I kept a close eye on him, and yeah, we nailed it. And I think the day of the show, I ended up carving him up on around like 700 something grams of carbs. Um, it was just strictly a night show. It wasn't like a pre-judging in the morning and then final.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I carved him up. I did water manipulation, did a natural
Hmm.
diuretic with Expel, and yeah, he took home first place.
Oh,
And
that's awesome, man.
I'm not even gonna lie, like I
Yeah,
cried in the audience. I was like, damn, like I really just did that.
I
Like that.
can't I can't imagine the feeling of I mean, just putting someone through that, them following your plan, and then seeing them succeed. Like the work they put in and the guidance that you gave them led to like that outcome.
Yeah, it definitely brought some shine into what I do, because like I said, I don't consider myself a prep coach at all. And
Mhm.
I have clients now who are in like an off season, and I help them with everything, when it comes to the PED side of things, natural
Mhm.
supplements, the nutrition, workouts, the cardio. I do everything. I look at their blood work, just because ultimately, we want to look good, but at the same time, like I don't want health to be at risk.
Oh, exactly. You never want to compromise health for this sport.
Exactly.
Like I feel like everyone that gets involved in like the bodybuilding and fitness, they do it and they want to do it for a long time. It's like, and you don't want to compromise that longevity just for
Exactly.
like a short term gratification.
Exactly. It's not worth, putting your health at risk for a trophy or a small check,
For
especially in
sure.
industries like you don't make money really.
Yeah, exactly. You're just doing it as a hobby.
Exactly, exactly. So, as long as I can help somebody, like I'm definitely going to do it. And even with my clients, I really don't charge much. Like a lot of the times I see now, especially being around, people from Inaka, Alpha
Hmm.
Elite people. My training partner, he's the Alpha Elite athlete manager. So
Okay.
hearing all these people like what they charge as far as like coaches go, it's like it's outrageous to me, like $400, $600 a month. And I'm like, dude, like I charge
Hmm.
people like anywhere between 150 to $120 a
Yeah.
month. And I mean, I'm basically giving them the same stuff. I may not be as knowledgeable as them, but
Hmm.
if you're willing to work with me and have that trust, like I'm doing everything, I'm researching everything I can just to make sure that you're top tier.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, and especially being like affordable and being knowledgeable and actually caring about your clients is
Yeah.
one of the key things because you don't want to, you could be just putting out cookie cutter programs that you see a lot in this industry
Yep.
of just like, oh, I'll throw a plan out there. Here's some macros, follow that, see what happens, and then you don't talk to them all week and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I've actually, most people are the type to say like, hey, check in with me once a week, on a Saturday morning or
Hmm.
whatever. But I specifically like to do it at least twice a week, split up the day, so like a Wednesday and Saturday, just to
Hmm.
ensure that they're not cheating on their diet. They're on track. I'm allowing them to kind of get accustomed to the plan if we made any specific changes to anything. So it's
Nice,
gonna
man.
be time, but I'm definitely serious when it comes to all that.
So like when you're looking for or when clients are coming to you or when you're like filtering through inquiries about clients, like what is your ideal client?
My ideal client is somebody who wants to be. I want somebody to actually take this serious.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of people who say they're very serious, but when it comes to like 2-3 weeks into it, they're like, hey, can I switch up the rice for potatoes? I'm like, okay, yeah, like let me redo something for you.
Hmm.
But then it's like, okay, can I exchange like the beef for salmon? I'm like, dude, like you need to just stick with this. I need to know how your body's responding to these certain things.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, I'm going on vacation for this long, so I'm probably not going to be on track. I'm like, all right, like so it's a little bothersome for me
Hmm.
because I'm putting in work and I want you to actually take it serious, especially if you plan on wanting to compete. Like I really want to give you those results. So if you're constantly going out or doing these things to kind of get you a little bit off track, like it's a little
Hmm.
frustrating to me. But at the end of the day, I know everybody has their own lives that they want to live. I don't expect them
Exactly.
to live the same way I live. So that's pretty much what I look
Yeah.
for.
And you said you did compete, right?
I did. I did.
So what was that like for you? Like going through a prep. What do you go through for that?
So I've prepped for, I want to say I've prepped for 6 shows, but this last time I competed last August, I believe.
Hmm.
That was the first time I actually stepped on stage. So I never would pull the trigger with actually doing a show just because I was more afraid of like the stage fright.
Hmm.
And just because, growing up, I was always so bullied for being so heavy. So
Okay.
I was always like kind of just mentally, afraid of having people see me basically half naked.
Hmm.
You it definitely has its ups and downs. Um, I definitely was somebody who struggled with the food aspect of it just because I've always felt like, when I got that cheat meal, like I would take that and I would binge.
Hmm.
And then there was a lot of things like I definitely feel like I should have been kept a closer eye on just because there was like a lot of things that I was eating that was on my plan. And I would always feel so bloated. You struggle a lot with, excuse me, you struggle a lot with like bloating, whether
Hmm.
it's foods, you're not getting in enough fiber, not enough micronutrients from your diet. So you have to look for other sources like the Metamucil, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was definitely tough for me mentally, but you know, I'm very thankful that like I have a very good support system, you know, close friends who would always reach out to me every single day to make sure I'm on track, or, you know, my girlfriend to make sure that I was, you know, doing everything properly.
Sure. And then what was that like when, you said you prepped a couple times, you didn't make it, and then you finally stepped on that stage and were able to get out there and show everything that you kind of put together over all that time?
Yeah, so that day, the day of my show, I was very nervous at first, you
Hmm.
know, but it was honestly probably one of the best days of my life. Like having the support I did, although I didn't like the package I brought, I knew that it was my first show, you know, I have to just get my feet wet.
Hmm.
That was kind of my mentality going into it, and just having the support system that I had there. I think I had around like 20 people
Oh,
go
wow.
my show just to support me. Ronnie Coleman was there, which was crazy.
That's awesome.
But it was just a surreal experience. And then, you know, we celebrated at my parents' house. They made me some homemade burgers and fries.
Hmm.
Um, I had uh, I had my friends bring me a pizza backstage, and it was just such a surreal moment. Like I strongly believe that was one of my best days of my life.
That's awesome to hear, man. And then, so what led you to bodybuilding? Did you play sports in high school growing up, or?
I played sports most of my younger life. I'm actually
Mhm.
from New Jersey,
Oh,
so
okay. Where
growing up
where in New Jersey?
Middletown.
Oh, I'm in Tinton Falls, so I'm probably like 15, 20 minutes from me.
Yeah, so I don't know much about like anything around there.
Hmm.
I moved there when I was 11, so I've been here now like 16 years in
Okay.
Texas. But yeah, last time I was there was 2020, and obviously nothing was really going on because of COVID,
Yeah,
so
no, for
didn't really
sure.
get to experience much. But yeah, growing up, I was very much into sports. I played baseball, t-ball. I played soccer. I played basketball. I was very much. I didn't play it, but I would always watch it. I was very big into the New Jersey Devils hockey.
Okay.
And then when I moved here, my junior high year, seventh and eighth grade, I played football. I got very heavy. Um, I there was just a summer like I just did not do anything, and I
Hmm.
want to say I gained like 30 pounds in that summer, and I was playing a right guard and then a left tackle. That's how
Hmm.
big I got. You got to be pretty big to play those
Oh,
positions.
for
You're
sure.
lineman, so I did that, and then I just noticed, you know, that's pretty much just what got me into the whole fitness thing. You know, I was just being made fun of a lot.
Hmm.
I knew being that weight was not healthy. I was like 5 foot 5'2", and I was weighing like 230 pounds.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah, I'm 5'9" now, and I'm
Hmm.
230 currently. So it's a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but that's awesome, man, to make that transformation and kind of, because a lot of people don't have that same issue and they kind of just let it take control of their life and they never snap out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost.
I think for the most part, I needed to play some sort of sport just because at a younger age, I was
Hmm.
diagnosed with a heart murmur. So,
Okay.
yeah, just irregular heartbeat, and just over time as I got older, you know, it eventually just went away. And I think at that time when I moved here, I wasn't cleared to play sports yet, so I didn't for a while.
Hmm.
And ultimately, that's what led me to just kind of gaining all that weight. And then I wasn't confident in school at all.
Hmm.
So I knew once I started working out, um, I
Just,
lost weight,
yeah,
and
exactly. Gain some that's pretty much what made me start. I was like very self-conscious, like no confidence as a teenager, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just work. I'm going to start working out, try to build some muscle. Maybe that'll give me some confidence. And I just, when I started and I first started seeing those results, I'm like, yep, this is what I want to do. And I just fell in love with the process.
oh, exactly. I feel like that's mostly everyone's story, and it's like honestly, as much times as you hear the story, like it's a story that you never get tired of hearing. Like
Never.
just because it's such an inspiring story. Like that's why I like to watch the summer shredding transformations. Like at my girlfriend's show, she just competed in summer shredding. One of the people, I want to say he was about 500 something pounds, which is insane.
Hmm.
I want to say he was like 16 years old, and like to me, like I can't even think about that.
Yeah.
uh, I remember watching his story because they do like a 2-minute video or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was saying something about he ended up getting COVID, and then he stayed in his room, and his mom, being a mother, was constantly trying to check up on him. And then when he was good, she ended up getting COVID. So because she couldn't go to the doctor or anything, she was just using like medication that she had like left over,
Hmm.
and she ended up ODing on pills. And 2 weeks later, she had like organ failure from all the pills.
Wow.
And ultimately, that's what led him into a worse depression. So he basically said, "You know what? I'm going to win this competition for my mom."
That's
And
awesome.
hearing that, like, I was like, "Damn!" Like, that's just crazy to hear that people come out of such a
Hmm.
harsh reality and they turn it into something super inspiring.
Exactly. And no, and speaking to like everyone's transformation story, I think everyone loves hearing them because we all pretty much have done something similar that are in the fitness industry, or people competing or, putting on weight, losing weight. Like you can relate to that feeling because the feeling of accomplishing it is just so amazing.
Oh, 100%. I can't agree with that more.
Hmm. And then right now, what are you up to these days? You're the head of supplements for Inaka Supplements now.
Yes. So director of supplements, pretty much just what my job is. I formulate the products. Come on, dude, stop. Sorry, my dog's here.
All good, man.
Um, but yeah, I formulate the products. So we officially did a whole revamp of our entire supplement line. So we just launched new pre-workout, we launched new pump, and then we also
Hmm.
finally launched protein powder.
Awesome.
Um, I reach out to a bunch of people. Like I've reached out to Fitness Informant, my buddy Conlon James, my buddy Sammy Stoll. Those are
Hmm.
all guys who have very big followings in the fitness industry. I think they also own that company V1 Nutra. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Not sure if I've heard of them.
They're doing insanely good. So I'm super happy for them. I'm glad to
Hmm.
have met them as well. Um, but yeah, I formulate all the products. I make these relations with these companies, trying new things out from them. So
Hmm.
been in contact with Nutrition 21,
Okay.
Live Science, places like that, just so I can try to see if I want to put it in a potential product that we have coming out.
So how did you get involved with Inaka and like the formulation of side of supplements? Especially, I mean, especially at such a young age, you don't see that very often in the industry, I feel.
Yeah, so again, it kind of goes back to me having such like a strong passion for just fitness in general, supplements, nutrition, all that type of stuff. I actually had two of my best friends come down from Austin. One of them, Danny, and then the other one, Solo. They came down to visit me and my girlfriend for the Houston rodeo, and we were all going to Alpha Land to work out. And my buddy Danny was like, "Yo, Sam, he's in town. He wants to show us around the HQ." And I was like, "Okay, like I don't know who Sam is, but I'm down." And when I officially met him, he was telling me about everything, and I was like, "Oh, like you own a Naka Power? I didn't know that." And when we were all talking, my buddy Solo said, "Yo, you guys need to start the podcast up again, the Inaka podcast."
Hmm.
It's like, man, it's just been tough, like dealing with supplements and the clothing side of things. And then Danny was like, dude, like Roman, he knows a lot about supplements. So for literally like 2 hours, he was just like Sam was just picking my brain about like new and upcoming things. What can we do and all this stuff. And I was telling him everything, and he was like, dude, can I get your information? I was like,
Hmm.
yeah. I was doing oil and gas before this, and
Okay.
luckily, they asked me to do an interview, and I interviewed with Sam, who's one of the owners of Anaka, and
Hmm.
also interviewed with our manufacturer just to see if there was a good relation with that. And they both loved me. And then from there, I went in person to the Anaka warehouse, and I met everyone else, all the directors of each department, and yeah, that's pretty much how everything started. And once they kind of saw you know, whatever formulas they had in the past,
Mm-hmm.
once they kind of saw like me kind of pick at them, they were like, yo, like this guy's like he really knows what he's talking about. And I was like, yeah, like there's just certain things that I wouldn't do or I would do differently. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's exactly what I did. So like the old pre-workout, it wasn't great, but I helped make it better,
That's
you know.
awesome.
So yeah, we have a lot more things coming out. You know, high stem pre's, thermos, different pre-workouts,
Mm-hmm.
pump caps. It's gonna be huge. 2024 is definitely gonna be huge for Inaka, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
So what? How long has the Naka been making supplements? Because I always knew them as the clothing brand like for the longest time.
Yeah, so I think they officially dropped supplements last year. I only
Okay.
joined up with them about like 5 or 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think they've officially went live last year with their V1 supplements. And I think they had pre-workout, they had pump, they had greens and aminos. I think that was it.
Okay.
And this go around, we had the new formulation of pump and pre. We still have our current greens and
Mm-hmm.
aminos, and now we have protein, three flavors of each. Super good flavors as well. You know, we definitely want to put out great products. So we made sure the flavoring was good, and
Mm-hmm.
the ingredient profiles are also very good. I wish I could show you what I have on my shelf
Mm-hmm.
right now. I can't. There's a lot of samples that I have right now that I've been kind of going through.
Gotcha.
Stuff for like fasted cardio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to start prep soon, so I need to make
Okay.
sure products are top tier.
So what's it like to, because I feel like Inaka, most supplement companies go the opposite way. Like they'll do supplements first and then go right to then go to the apparel side of things. But Inaka's kind of doing it the reverse way from what I've seen in the industry. So like thus far in my career.
Yeah, so from like my understanding is like, you know, we have very good relations with like Raw Nutrition, Goat,
Mm-hmm.
and as you know, they're specifically known as a supplement company, but they have their clothing side, but they're not very well known for like you don't go to shop at getrawnutrition.com and you don't only want to get a clothes
Exactly.
when I do that. So we're basically wanting to be one of the first. I really don't know if there's a company out there that has all of these things,
I
but
can't think of one.
yeah, we really want to be a company that is all around like your one-stop shop. So, you know, if you want to buy clothes from us, you can. If you want to buy accessories from us, you can. If you want to buy supplements from us, you can. You know, so we really want to tackle all those areas that way. You know, of course, from a consumer standpoint, you don't have to be shopping at this company to get this
Mm-hmm.
product, this company for this other product. You know, so we definitely want to keep doing a lot of things for the company.
No, it's awesome to kind of be like a one-stop shop for everything fitness. And
Hmm.
then I mean, I'm sure like being near Alpha Land in Texas is probably a huge thing for you guys as well, kind of feeding off that energy down there. Cause I've never been there and I always hear things about it and always see like the summer shredding. I wish more people would do that type of competition instead of like a typical bodybuilding show.
Yeah, honestly, like I our office is like 2 minutes away from Alpha Land,
Hmm.
and then we actually have offices at Alpha Land as well.
Oh, cool.
Um, but it's very surreal because it's like I never would have thought honestly that I'd be with a company this big, you know. So just me going in the gym, like it's cool just seeing people, you know, like just hey, what's up, man? Like, you know, they know me for what I do.
Hmm.
It's a very surreal experience to see that. I will say this: you don't want to be at that gym when it's summer shredding time. Like it is
Oh,
ridiculously.
I mean, I see pictures like that all the time. I go to a gym I go to a really nice gym in Jersey. It's called Iron Revolution.
Man, I've been
Um,
wanting to check that gym out.
so the thing like if you go there like busy hour, it's definitely gonna be packed. But I go there at like 6, 7 in the morning. I think there's like the same 8 people there every day, and I like absolutely love it. Like I can't bring myself to go at any other time because I'm so used to like the emptiness. I'm like, oh, I love this. This is like
Do you work out fasted?
no, I don't. I wake up probably around 4:45 in the morning, and I'll eat and get some stuff done, and then like let my food digest. Then I get over to the gym. I just do a simple like a protein shake with some oats in it
Okay.
in the morning.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I've been training for so long. I've done fasted workouts.
Hmm.
Um, Me doing what I do now, I feel sick. Like
I
if I don't have a good amount of sleep in me, like I have a buddy of mine. He's definitely an early bird.
mhm.
He's always wanting to train, so I try to make the time, for anyone who wants to train. And just waking up at like 6 a.m. just to get a meal in, and then having to meet him at the gym at 8 o'clock, I'm like,
It takes a while to get used to because it did take me a while, and then I remember I did try. I was like, I wasn't digesting right in the morning at one point, and I'm like, I'm gonna try working out fasted. That was like that I couldn't do. I
yeah,
just felt like there was like a hole in my stomach the whole time I was working out. I was like, even if I was drinking like intra workout carbs, I was like, this is just not working out. And luckily, I found like this little I do just 2 scoops of protein, a cup of oatmeal, and I feel really good on that.
have you ever just done like, I don't know, 2 or 3 Rice Krispies and then like a protein shake?
So I actually can only do plant protein.
Oh,
Uh,
huh.
c-
Is it like lactose or?
dude, it's the weirdest thing. I used to always do whey protein growing up. Like when I first started getting into the gym, I did all real food for a little bit. And now whenever I try to drink isolate protein, any type of protein I can find, like whey based, I
Mm,
cannot digest it. I like throw up. It's the weirdest thing. But
yeah,
plant protein, good to go.
I wonder what that is. I've never heard of that. I actually have a friend.
I think I'm like allergic to whey. If that's the only thing that
Do
makes any
you
sense
do you
to me.
drink milk?
I don't drink milk or anything at all. I the only dairy I do is Greek yogurt.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know.
It's an
Like
interesting problem that I developed, but
one of my buddies, Teron Beckham. Uh,
mhm.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, he isn't he Odell's like cousin or something.
Yeah, so he's always at Alpha Land. He's funny.
Hmm.
But I was talking to him because he found out that I work with the Naka, and I was like, yeah, bro, like I'll bring you some samples, and the only samples we have is pump and protein. So I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, bro, I'll bring you some. He's like, oh, don't bring me any protein. I was like, why? He's like, man, it's like the weirdest thing. So this is back when he was actually signed with Alpha Lion. He's like, dude, I don't know what it is, but I can't do like any protein. And he said something like he got like a allergen test or something like that. And he said it's the sucralose that's in the protein. I was like, how does that make sense when you're intaking like protein or pre-workout and pump, and that also has sucralose?
Yeah, exactly.
It's only protein. Like I can't do it. Like I feel like I'm coming down with like the flu. I was like, wow, like
That's really interesting.
that's crazy to me.
Because I never finished going through with my allergen test. I went to the allergist and I never just rescheduled it. I'm fine doing real food and having like one plant protein shake. I'll put essential amino acids in it, so it
Mhm.
kind of completes it, and then I'm good to go in the morning.
What kind
But
of if you don't mind me asking, like what kind of plant-based protein do you use?
so I used the Planta by Ambrosia Supplements. I think
Okay,
that's
okay.
Micro Sheets
Yeah, yeah,
company.
yeah. I've heard of it.
Um, dude, it tastes phenomenal. I do like the banana maple syrup one, I think,
Mhm.
or dude, I look forward to it every day when I wake up.
I literally yesterday just had Ghost vegan protein.
I've heard theirs is really good.
I had the Cinnabon flavor.
Hmm.
It's not surprisingly gritty, and that was like always my problem, the grittiness. And I actually, during one of my competition preps, doing I started doing vegan protein. I think it was called
Okay.
Veg One. It was like steel supplements.
Yeah, one of those.
And I ended up finding out that like my weight kept spiking up after intaking it. I was like, man, what is going on? Like, I'm not changing anything. And I ended up finding out that I have a brown rice allergen, which brown rice is typically in vegan proteins.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
found
usually
out.
do like vegan proteins. They usually always try to make a whole complex mix to try to complete the amino acid sequence in there.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it's found out it was a brown rice, and I did a whole food allergen test based on my blood type and everything, and there's a lot of things that like I shouldn't be eating, but still eat. Like I can't do peanut butter, mushrooms,
Hmm.
strawberries, but I'm like these are all good things, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. But as someone who's, I would say one of the experts in the supplement industry right now, what's your favorite supplement out there? Like herb or anything like that?
Man, honestly, I wouldn't say I have like a favorite supplement, but when I see a new company, I definitely like the first products I always look for is because they're very versatile. I always
Mm,
look for the pre-workout, like what are they putting in the pre-workout? Because typically when you look at a company, that's one of the first things that you're going to buy from a company, a pre-workout.
hmm.
Always look at like a thermogenic. You know, I very much like to use powder thermos in the morning. Uh,
Okay.
I'm not very big on doing like coffee in the morning, so I'd rather just do something like that. Just kind of kickstart my metabolism a little bit, kind of wake me up, make me feel a little bit good. Nothing like too crazy, high in caffeine, nothing like that. I'm fine with like 100 milligrams of caffeine first thing in the morning, and I'm good to go.
No, I'm the same way. I actually don't even take pre-workout.
That's
I'm not
insane
a I'm not a stim guy.
for working out as early as you do.
Yeah, dude. I'm just I just wake up, do have my drink like a liter of water. I'll do a quarter tablespoon of iodized salt, and
Okay.
then I just do a black coffee, and I'm good to go.
You take pump at all?
Yeah, I have a pump product I take,
Okay.
but I don't do for some reason I've never been like a I've never been a stim person, like as far as like stimulants in a pre-workout necessarily, and I just find it works best
Which
for me.
I wish I was like that because now I'm
Hmm.
like always needing pre-workout and whatnot.
That's what yeah, no, when I worked in a supplement store for quite a while, and you know, I would see kids coming in there buying like pre-workouts with like they want like 400 milligrams of caffeine. I'm like, guys, you realize you're not going to like there's not really anywhere you're going to be have such a high tolerance at such a young age. When you need this, it's not going to work.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Um, that's actually what do you know Shane? He's the owner of the company Stack News.
I don't think so.
So Stack News, they basically run like they're basically like the news reporters for supplement companies.
Hmm.
They have like a full blog, and yeah, he was telling me like this company. Have you ever heard of Panda Supplements?
I have, yes.
Yeah, so they just dropped a crazy collab with another one called Apollon Nutrition, I believe.
Oh, that's out of Edison, New Jersey, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, so they did a collab together for a
Mhm.
pre-workout. That pre-workout has 750 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, I believe it, dude. I know Apollon is known to like they put so much stuff in all their products.
It's a stacked like formula. Like
Hmm.
I think there was like two forms of synephrine in there.
Oh
Like
wow.
it's stacked. And my buddy Sammy Stoll, he actually sent me one of Panda supplements because Panda, they're known for their like crazy high stim,
Hmm.
products. And he sent me one called Rampage, and I feel like I have a decent tolerance, so I went ahead and I
Hmm.
took 2 scoops of it, which is like on the extreme side, and I felt like complete dog shit. Like
Dude,
I
that's
was
what
I was cold sweating. Like I just
oh,
felt
dude, I'm
horrible.
terrified of Yohimbi.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
there's a Wimby in it.
like
Yeah,
I
there's
can
a Wimby. They used I think they used like 15 milligrams or 25 milligrams of isopropyl synephrine, and then they
mhm.
also did like an additional 25 or 15 milligrams of synephrine hydrochloride. And I was like, dude, this is way too much stim for me.
Oh
But
yeah.
I think they used alpha yohimbi instead of just the regular.
Oh, I believe it, dude. Well, I remember the first time I think I took you, or not the first time. I knew I had like an intolerance to Yohimbi. Like I was very sensitive that if I took it, I just got the cold sweats. I couldn't move. I was like freezing, just sweating.
Hmm.
I took it in the store one day. We had a sample of something. someone told me to just take half the serving, and I was like, we were testing a product for one of our vendors at the time, and he's like, yeah, just take one pill, like trust me, you'll be fine. I'm like, dude, I don't like stims, like I don't think this is gonna go well, like I don't think I should take it. And then I asked him like 3 times, like, does this have yohimbi in it? And he kept saying no.
Oh god.
So I took it.
Oh, you guys didn't have the supplement facts on it?
No, he was like a formulator, so he just had it. So he didn't show me.
God,
Like,
that sucks.
so he kept saying no. So I'm like, all right, I'll believe you. Dude, like a half hour later, I'm like shooting him a message on Instagram, like, yo, bro, there's no way there's no yohimbi in this. I'm already sweating, like my anxiety's through the roof. I don't want to move.
Yeah, no,
And he's like, dude,
that's
there's only 2 milligrams. You probably took a milligram in a pill. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I still feel it.
yeah, no, that you're gonna feel it. That's crazy. We actually before I got brought on board, they told me that I don't know who was doing their formulations out of Naka,
Mhm.
but they told me that they got a sleep aid and they needed people to test it like in within
The company.
the workers. Yeah, so
Hmm.
our lead designer Robbie, he actually tried it. And it's a funny, it's not funny, but it's funny.
Hmm.
He tried the sleep aid. He took a full serving, which was 4 caps, and then Sam, the owner of Inaka, he actually took 2 servings or 1 serving, but it was 2 caps, whatever.
Okay.
So they did that, and both of them said they had cold sweats. I'm like, how are you cold sweating from this? Like it's a sleep aid. And then Robbie, he actually got rushed to the hospital because he said, like, I don't know what was, because it's a sample bottle, they don't put supplement facts on it or anything.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, like I had to get rushed to the hospital because I was like losing vision in my eyes. I was like, bro, like
What? What did
goes
you
into a
take?
sleep aid that does this? Like somebody must have put some sort of stimulant in there, which is
Hmm.
ridiculous. But the only time I want to say like I really had a bad because I actually I like yohimbi, but
Hmm.
of course I built a assess my tolerance.
Hmm.
The only product that I don't like um respectfully is going to be psychotic.
Okay. Dude, I sold a lot of psychotic, and that pre-workout, the sales pitch, I was like, you're either gonna love this or hate it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
that was it.
it's definitely a strong product.
Hmm.
Like I remember I used to sell it a lot too back when I worked for a supplement shop. But I took just the basic psychotic. I think it was
Hmm.
just like a one scoop, whatever. And I didn't know. I saw in there like there was no sort of like pump ingredients, so I
Hmm.
think maybe it was just like too much stim in me. But it makes sense. Like it's everyone told me it's the yohimbi in there, and it's a
Yeah.
proprietary blend, so you really don't know.
You don't know exactly what's in it.
A few months later, they dropped the Hellboy edition, which is stronger.
Hmm. They had the
And
help. I think they had Hellboy. They had I Am God. They
yeah,
had so many different ones that just came out in such a short time. It was good. Their
yeah,
line
now
was crazy for a while.
they have the Saw collab,
Hmm.
which apparently is a way stronger formula. I'm like, yeah, keep that
Yeah,
away from
no,
me.
people can have that if they want it. That's not for me though. But you
No,
said Inaka's starting their Black Friday sale tomorrow. You
yeah,
mentioned.
yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know all the exact details, but I
Hmm.
will say 80% off site wide. 4 new
Wow.
drops. Everything on the site is gonna be going on sale. Supplements, all the older supplements like EAAs and greens, I'm
Hmm.
gonna say they're gonna be like probably on that 80% mark.
Damn, sounds like a good deal, man.
Yeah, it's definitely it's the biggest sale of the year, so we gotta go all
Hmm.
out.
But but I think this is a good episode, man. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate the conversation we had, and this was fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad you had me on. You know, shout out Justin for making this
Yeah,
happen.
making this connection. This is awesome.
Definitely, but I appreciate everything, and I look forward to potentially being on it. Later on,
Of
whenever.
course, dude. You're welcome back whenever. That's what I tell everyone. Just come on back. I that's what the premise of the podcast is. I just don't have a plan with what I'm doing. I'm just talking to people. That's it.
Hey, this is definitely something that's happening, and it's great. I
Hmm.
definitely enjoyed every moment of this. So definitely a surreal experience. First podcast I've ever done, and yeah, I loved it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man. And that'll wrap it up for episode 9, I think.
Episode 9. Thank you.